Well, there's a heck of a lot going on with social media, but I only have 10 minutes, so I unfortunately won't be able to cover all of it. But while he's getting my presentation up here, I noticed that both Chase and Rhonda discussed social media several times in their presentations. So what I'm really looking forward to sharing with you is how you can better use that social media and really respect the audiences in a way that benefits you when you go out to share your content or advertise to them. So first of all, who the heck am I and why the heck should I be talking about this? Well, I'm Andrea Parrish, and I have been a digital media marketer or a communications person for pretty much my entire life. I'm the daughter of 2 entrepreneurs, an absolute Shakespeare addict. I work on a mini farm, but mostly I spend my time online. If you're live tweeting this, by the way, at Tiny Tall, I'm the short one of my family. Right now, I'm the digital marketing specialist for STCU, and I do mostly social media. In fact, about 80 to 90% of my responsibility when Lance isn't covering for me. I'm also a serial crazy idea chaser. I've had a few successes, including a viral sensation wedding and a successful Kickstarter business. And all of that means having social media that is really and truly effective. So what is the most important thing with any relationship, be it on social media or off? Respect, right? It's about respecting the community and respecting the relationship, because every community is really just a combination of relationships. And respecting that relationship means more than just giving it lip service. It means truly listening to who you are talking with and who you are communicating to make sure that the message actually matches. On social media, that means respecting the fact that every piece of social media, every network, is a self-creating, self-moderating community of choice. Social networks live and die and thrive on emergence, because it is the community that is a part of a social network that actually makes up a social network. So, what that means is that social media's emergence is a part of what makes them. Every single one has a different voice because it's a different community that has decided to become a part and to work as a part of that particular social network. So, what does respect actually look like on social networks? It means when in Rome, do as the Romans do. It means you need to actually listen to those networks and be aware of the community and the individuals and the people that make up that particular network. In fact, the voice of a community and the expectations of a community are all built by its members. And if you violate those expectations, then you're likely going to have a really difficult time when you look at it. In fact, they say location, location, location. With social media, it's context, context, context. And what is that context? Well, it's the fact that every single social network is a little bit different, has a different voice, a different personality, different people that hang out on those social networks and make it a part of what it is. And that means being very aware of that voice and aware of that community. In fact, keep in mind, when you are engaging on a social network, you are not just talking to one person or in one voice. You are talking to that entire community, because social media is a spectator sport. So what are these networks all like? Well, here's 10 of the most popular according to Pew. Facebook, it's a living room. It's where we all hang out. It's where we talk with our friends and we feel very comfortable. And occasionally grandma might show up. I'm not entirely happy about that, but we still respond to her comment because, well, it's grandma. Facebook is where adults tend to hang out a little bit more and where we tend to be a lot more comfortable with the people we're hanging out with. We keep it kind of locked down where we're sharing things that are truly important to us. Now, on the other hand, Twitter. Twitter's a cocktail party. It's where we hang out, where it is totally normal to talk to people that we may not know entirely well, but as long as we have some connecting factor, something that we actually have to talk about, totally normal to approach pretty much anyone. And also, we all get really frustrated with that one guy in the corner who does nothing but talk about the big deal he landed last week. Have you heard about the big deal? After about 20 minutes at a cocktail party, that gets really exhausting. That's why on Twitter, it also gets very exhausting. Now, on the other hand, we have Instagram. Instagram is the slideshow of the web. It's very visually focused. It's where we all hang out and have that more intimate experience of truly seeing somebody's life, and then also the context they put around it. And also worth keeping in mind, slideshows usually done in a living room, and well, Facebook just bought Instagram, so the algorithms are becoming much, much more important. That intimacy of the living room and the slideshow in it really match up when you're looking at how Instagram functions. Now, on the other side of the visual spectrum, we have Pinterest, otherwise known as the Dream Board or the Burn Book, depending on which movie you're a fan of. Hey, somebody actually has watched Mean Girls. But It's all based on content that other people create. And the power is not necessarily in a single image, and the power isn't necessarily in a single function, but instead it's in what other people create and how you put it together. It's about how you collate that content to tell your own personal story on Pinterest. Now, we have LinkedIn. For those of you who know Manny Tremblay, definitely check out the Unaccountant. But it's the water cooler of the web, right? It's where we hang out with those that we work with, and we keep things a little bit more professional. It's still okay to talk about things that are a little bit more personal, but you talk about them in a totally different way than you would in your living room, because it is a very authoritative, professional setting where people talk about and discuss about mostly work-related things. It's a water cooler. You hang out with your friends, but you know your boss is listening. Whereas YouTube, everybody is listening. And I do mean everybody. It's public access television for the internet. It's truly about passion projects because it's available to pretty much anybody. And you can get everything from Julia Child to the crazy guy who dresses up as a pirate once a week just so he can talk like a pirate. Either way, it's those personal passion projects that can get a really big following, but you have to sort through some of the stuff that's a little weird or disconcerting to find it. Any guesses about this one? Google Plus. It's a secret society. Nobody talks about it ever. But it's really powerful because it is Google and because it is the thing that Google actually listens to the most. People may not talk about it, kind of like Fight Club, but if you find the right group, you find the right people to talk with, then it can be an extraordinarily powerful part of your search engine optimization and great for your content. Now, not so authoritative or secret would be Tumblr. Tumblr is in fact the fringe festival of the internet. And if you guys haven't ever been to a fringe festival, that's a theater festival where everything goes. That's the case on Tumblr too. You can find everything from incredibly well-drawn pictures of cats with wings to porn. And a lot of really great discussion of issues that may not get discussed otherwise. It's a platform where pretty much everybody says exactly what they're thinking and often have multiple accounts, just like multiple shows. Or on the other hand, Snapchat, it's a note we pass to each other in class. The intention is that they don't last more than a few minutes, no matter how much time we spend folding those perfect little corners on our notes or making sure they fly across the room. You have to assume the teacher might occasionally read them, but for the most part, Snapchat is just one-on-one conversation that is intended to be very short-term. And if you're somebody who texts in class, I'm sorry, you've missed out on all the folding. And finally, the 10th most popular social network, Reddit. Reddit is the college dormitory of the web. It really depends on where you choose to live, and it really depends on what communities you choose to engage with there, but pretty much anything goes. You can find anything you're looking for, and I do mean anything, but it can also be where great ideas come out of and where people are really truly willing to engage in whatever form or fashion they feel most comfortable with. So, what does this all actually mean? Well, what it actually means is that if you are going to be on a social network, you don't have to be the center of attention, but you should be somebody who pays attention to the expectations of the network. If you break those expectations, then you're as likely to be the center of attention for a really bad reason as you are to be the center of attention for a really good reason. You should also keep in mind that it should inform your use of those social networks when you make a decision of how you are going to utilize them. Think about it like a newspaper. No sane newspaper editor would expect the obituaries and the comics to be written in the same way, or front page news and the sports page to be written for the exact same audience. Even if they are talking about the exact same topic, they're going to talk about it and tell that story in a very different way. It needs to be aware of the audience you are working with. And that means planning and having expectations separate for every network and every type of content you will be posting. What that also means is you should not cross-post the exact same content on multiple networks. Just don't do it. I know it's tempting, and I know that it saves a lot of time, but think of it this way. If somebody really likes you and follows you on one network, at worst, it's a voice mismatch. But if you do your job right and they follow you on multiple networks, it becomes immediately obvious what you are doing, and you are telling that person who really loves you that you do not respect their choices enough to give them something in their voice and their communication. Now, if you are really lucky, people are talking about you behind your back. You should take a look at every single network and see what the voice is and how people are talking about your business, brand, or organization, and to talk to them in their voice. If you take the time to hug your haters and do a few social networks really, really well, then you have the opportunity to speak to people in their chosen voice and in their chosen language. And if there is anything more powerful than that in communications, in social networking, or in marketing, I don't know what it is. Really, hug your haters and speak to them in their language, no matter where you may be hanging out.